Another new apprentice, I see. Are you of the sort that believe you're here to change the world? Or are you only in it for yourself? I assure you that I shall be watching you, all of you, very closely. Your superior and I were simply having a discussion about my level of access to the college. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. I shall be quite capable of observing everything that goes on here. I am an advisor to the Archmage. The Thalmor wish to promote relations with your college. I am at the Archmage's disposal if he requires advice. Perhaps not as often as he should. In time, I believe he will be more trusting. Now that stability has been established between the Dominion and the Empire, we seek only to help Skyrim, to guide its people through this time of transition, to help lead them to a better future.
Welcome, welcome. We were just beginning. Please, stay and listen. So,
People
as
say
I was
Skyrim
saying,
is one of the most
first thing
dangerous
to
places
understand
in
is that
time.
magic is, by its very nature, volatile and dangerous. Unless you can control it, it can and will destroy you.
Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well. We wouldn't be here if we couldn't control magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control, mastery of magic. It takes years, if not decades, of practice and study.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is inevitable.
But we've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of. Why not give us a chance to show you what we can do?
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do? Well, your classmates certainly seem to disagree with you.
No, don't listen to her. We can do it. Just give us a chance.
All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can try something practical. In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right? Would you mind helping me with a demonstration? Are you at all familiar with ward spells? That's what this lesson is for. Perfect time to try it out. Now, if you'll just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you block it with the ward. Here we go. Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up. You have to keep your ward up, or else this won't work. I don't want to hurt you. Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up. Hold still. Excellent work. Well, I think this is an excellent start. I'd like you all to continue practicing with wards, please. I think perhaps we're ready to begin exploring some of the various applications of magic throughout history. The college has undertaken a fascinating excavation in the ruins of Sarthal nearby. It's an excellent learning opportunity. I suggest we meet there in a few hours and see what awaits us inside. That's all for now. Thank you.
I've never been a sellsword. Never traded my skills for pay. I've always adventured on my own terms.
New here too, eh? I'd hoped I wouldn't be the only Nord, but I should have known better. Magic is shunned by most. If it can't be swung over your head and used to crack skulls, most Nords want nothing to do with it. Magic is seen as something for elves and weaker races. No offense, of course. Not at all. I consider it a blessing. My family was convinced coming here was a death sentence, or worse. It took years of insisting that this is what I'm meant to do. I know he's from the Thalmor, and that he claims to be here simply as an advisor. I also know that no one really believes that. I've been trying to avoid him, honestly. Well, look at the evidence. Nords generally don't trust magic, so it's not off to a good start. Throw in the Oblivion Crisis, which was caused by magic users, and the troubles now with the Aldmeri Dominion, who are elves and magic users. And finally, take the fact that the college is the only thing left standing after most of Winterhold was destroyed. It's all fairly damning.
Skyrim could not be more different from elsewhere. But magic is the same no matter where you go. You are new, yes? Have you mastered the expert-level distraction spells yet? Is it? This is disappointing. Jezargo hoped there might be one who could keep pace with his accomplishments. Oh yes, Jezargo hopes to find things that will make him a more powerful mage here. Hopefully small things that fit inside pockets and will not be noticed if they are missing. Oh, but you are wrong. The only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it. Mages in Cyrodiil are all about politics. The Synod and the College of Whispers are too busy guarding secrets to bother to teach. Skyrim was not Jezargo's first choice, but Winterhold is removed from politics, dedicated to study. This is the place for Jezargo to become great. There is much for Jezargo to be sure of. There is skill in magic, there is charm, and there is a strong will. Jezargo will be successful. Of this there is no doubt. Until next time.
College is a bit of an oddity in Skyrim. Magic isn't something that's looked upon fondly here.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership. It's lies. All of it. I don't care what she told you. It's all lies. Feralda, don't act like she didn't say anything. I know her, and I know what she's been up to.
Wrong. It's magnificent, and I'm proud to call it home.
My problem with her? She's the one who has a problem with me. She's threatened by me, by my skill as a wizard, by my elegance and posture, by my superior good looks. But she is not going to get the better of me. Oh no, I won't let it get to me one bit. That's what she's after. She's trying to undermine my confidence, make me doubt myself. Well, it won't work, I tell you.
Don't trust that one. He's up to something. Most here are up to something, of course, but in his case, it's not good. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. He is rather handsome, though, isn't he?
Until next time.
Skyrim could not be more different from elsewhere. But magic is the same. Where you go.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear? You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful. Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials. A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact. As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us. Assorted books, scrolls. I'm sure you'll find something useful. Until next time.
You should have seen me at the height of my adventuring career. I was fearless and took too many risks. But that's what it was all about.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
Enchanting services
I've seen
are
enough
one of the
death
few
last
things
lifetime.
that keep us in touch
Yet
with
I
the rest
never
of
tired a
Skyrim.
good fight. What do you make of that?
Well, there's more enchanting to be done. You can acquire whatever it is and bring it back here, and I'll take care of it. All right, be quick about it, will you? This is a good way for the college to bring in some money. Here's the name and location of the client. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. If you can't, perhaps Urag has a book you can read. No, I can't. I have enough to keep me busy. View it as a chance to hone your craft. All right, then.
You consider restoration a valid school of magic, worthy of study, don't you? Don't you? Good. Not that I require validation, of course. There are just some, and I shan't name names, who would disagree. It can make life difficult when one's colleagues fail to recognize the research one engages in. Well, no, not really. Not directly, I mean. But I know things are being said behind my back. Conversations cease when I enter rooms. I'm quite aware of what's going on here, and I will not stand for it. I'll gladly share my knowledge with you. Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Why am I So, you wish to master the arcane arts? Mm-hmm.
I've seen enough death to last 3 lifetimes. Yet I never tire of a good fight.
You can see me?
What do you make of that?
Confound it all, I was quite sure I was invisible. Or at least transparent. So, you wish to master the arcane arts? Oh, you know, they say knowledge is its own reward. Oh my, that's quite a difficult question. Never underestimate the ability to influence others. Whether they're friends or foes, they're almost all susceptible to illusion spells. They can turn the tide of a battle in a moment's notice. There are also spells that help in avoiding conflict altogether. Invisibility is tricky to master, but exceptionally useful. There may be a matter in which your skills could be useful. The various points of focus for magic energies around the college have become polluted and need cleansing. Very well. These specially enchanted gloves will allow you to delve directly into the focal points for these energies. Go to each focal point and remove whatever impurities you may find there. Return the gloves to me when you have finished. Please exercise caution. This is not a procedure without possible consequences. Use the gloves to clear the focal points. Return to me when you have finished. I thought I made this rather clear. Farewell.
Mirabelle does a fine job as Master Wizard, I suppose. Still, there's always room for improvement. I can't wait to see who succeeds Mirabelle. I've no doubt she'll be promoted to Archmage at some point. Certainly. Destruction spells come in different forms, each useful for various purposes. Concentration spells can be cast immediately, though they're weaker. Good for a tight spot and less costly if you miss. You'll also need to decide whether to devote yourself to a single type of spell. Focusing solely on flame spells will make them more powerful, but you may find yourself at a disadvantage against foes immune to fire. See you around.
If you require assistance
You
with
should have
summoning
seen me at the
techniques,
height of my
please,
adventuring
let
career.
me know.
I was fearless,
If you would,
took too
please
many
also
risks.
contain your summons to the
But that's
college
what it was all
grounds.
about.
The locals do not need to be agitated further by Atronachs roaming their town. The summoning of undead is even less advisable outside the college. Take a look. I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it. Not within society, no. Many who practice within the School of Conjuration do so on their own, secretly. Falion is the only one I know who is public about what he does. He was once my teacher here, but left the college years ago. He didn't like the Archmage, hated dealing with him, hated having to answer to him. Falion said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Oren found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem. All right then.